3 years ago, I bought a Harvest Right freeze dryer. The first thing I did is start making batches of freeze-dried food. And here they are right here. These are the original batches. I haven't opened them since then. And today what we're gonna do is we're gonna open these up. I'm gonna heat them up with hot water. I'm gonna start eating them. And then I'll come back after 72 hours and I'll let you know how I feel. So stick around. Hey YouTube, welcome to City Prepping. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness. Now, one of the things that I've discussed a lot on this channel is freeze drying. I'll put a link up in the cards above if you want to check out a playlist on freeze drying. It's a fascinating technology that you can actually do at home. This food, if you freeze dry it correctly, you store it away, it can last up to 25% with 99% of the nutritional value. That's pretty amazing. There's really no other technology, dehydration, nothing really similar that can do anything quite at this level. So what I'm going to do is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm going to open up some of these batches that I originally created when I first got my machine 3 years ago. And I'm going to try it out. We're going to show the process of heating it up. And at the end, we'll circle back. And I'll come back after 72 hours and record a kind of an update of how I'm feeling after eating this food that's essentially been sitting in some storage area for 3 years. The first batch is 16 eggs and 2 slices. Let me put this in frame for the other camera. This one is 3 apples that I actually cut up and then I freeze dried. The next one is 4 chicken breasts that I did cook. Again, I'll bring this into frame so you can see it. And this last one, 6 pork chops are not cooked. And I did this one on December 30th of 2017. Now, if you didn't cook something originally before you freeze dry it, you don't have to put it in hot water when you're heating it up. What I'll do is I'll actually, with this one, just put it in room temperature, and then I'll cook it, and then I'll eat it, and I'll let you know how that goes. I'll cut them right now with a pair of scissors. Well, actually, they just have a little tear tab here on the top. And I'm gonna let you know right away how they smell. So this is, again, these are old items, or old as far as what I've done, so, all right. Okay, so here are the apples. Let me see if I can get that up close. I'm not sure if that helps in that frame. But as far as how they look, everything looks fine. So let me try out, see how one of these tastes real quick. Okay. Don't taste anything weird or smell anything weird. It just tastes like freeze-dried apples. No, tastes pretty good. Again, there's a close-up if you want to look in the bag. Tell you what, let me just dump some of these here on the table. I mean, they look pretty normal to me. They're crunchy. Let me see. Yeah, they're still, really crunchy. So the apples, they taste just like typical freeze-dried apples. Well, let's open up the chicken breast. This is cooked. This was on January 16th. Same thing, Don't smell anything funky here. Let me see, here's the O2 absorber. Let me toss that to the side. These I put like salt and pepper because you can see some little, actually I put some oregano on these. I'll put that up, hopefully you can see a little closer in that camera view. Okay, so the next one, I'm putting that one out of frame, is the 16 eggs, 2 slices of turkey and cheese, which I cooked. I scrambled all this together. This was actually on December 25th of 2017. Let me open up these, and same thing. Yeah, I'll put that one up in frame. They look fine. But yeah, looks normal to me. And then the last one is pork chops. Now these were not cooked. Whenever I did these originally, I just, took raw pork chops because again, I just want to kind of see what it would look like years later if I just took these and then heated them up and then cooked them. Okay, so again, here's our O2 absorber. And yeah, it just looks like typical raw pork chops. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go over, heat up some water, and then I'll bring some pans and some different things. We'll stick this food in here and we'll start heating it up with the hot water, let them warm up, and then we'll taste them. For the pork chops, these were uncooked. For uncooked items, you don't have to put them in hot water. You can just put them in room temperature water and then warm them up. Now the next item was the cooked chicken, and I had already cooked that in advance. Same thing, again, I just opened it up, dumped it in a tray. And for this one, I did add hot water and kind of stirred around to let it get mixed up. The next one was eggs, turkey, and cheese. Same thing, just dumped those into a tray, and those were already cooked in advance. So just put some hot water, kind of eyeballed the amount, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. And after coming back in about 10 minutes, the items are pretty much rehydrated. You can just dump off the excess water and you're good to go. So I've gone ahead and drained off the water from the eggs and the chicken. I've got the pork chops over here. I'm gonna drain these off in a second. And again, if you have something that you didn't cook and you're rehydrating it, you can just put it in room temperature water. But whenever you actually cook something in advance, like the chicken or the eggs, you typically want to use hot water whenever you're rehydrating these. Okay, so first impressions. The eggs, a little chewy. I'll post a link to a video I did explaining the right way to store eggs and when you freeze dry them. You want to break them down into more of a powder instead of just storing them like this, kind of scrambled. Whenever you rehydrate, the texture is just way better. They just taste better overall. So, again, this is one of the first batches of eggs I ever did. Overall, it's all right. I wouldn't say it's great, but I mean, it's edible, I'm not gonna eat it here in front of you. I think this is my third take I've done on this video because I made a few mistakes on the other takes, but I've been eating a lot of this. And so overall, tastes fine. This one, and I'll come over here again, the chicken, the texture is pretty good. No complaints really. I probably should have heated it up just a little. I think I left it in the hot water too long while I was filming. So it's kind of got a little chewy and a little soft. But if you do it right, and again, it's all about experimenting, playing around with it, they taste really, really good. Again, I'm not saying it's bad, it's a little soft. But overall, the taste is great. No complaints on the chicken. Again, not a big fan of the eggs. It's just, the texture is kind of weird. Again, just because of how I stored it. So what I'll do is I'll wait 72 hours, I'll come back and we'll see how I feel after eating, some more of this. Be right back. After doing the initial recording of the video and trying out the different food, I said I would come back in 3 days and give you an update on how I feel. Well, I filmed at the beginning of December, got busy before the holidays hit. Now here we are. I have no idea how we're now in the middle of January. So it's been a little over a month since I initially tried the food. Suffice it to say, I'm here today, so there wasn't any issues. The few days following after eating, I didn't have any stomach issues, nothing hurt. It was just like eating regular food. If you've ever bought something like Mountain House freeze-dried food, again, if you flip over the back and look, the expiration on a lot of those are several decades as long as you store them away properly in a cool, dry area. And it's no different with this food. Now, I do love making my own freeze-dried food because you have the advantage of having full control over what goes into your food. You're not having to worry about preservatives being added, salt, or anything like that. Over the holidays, my wife started taking on herself, creating trays full of fresh fruit and adding them to the freeze dryer. It's so simple. All you do is just simply toss it in, hit a few buttons, and it's good to go. We've been kind of on this health kick here lately where we're eating a lot of fresh produce. And the challenge is when you buy the produce is that if you leave it out on the counter or you put it in the refrigerator, it ends up going bad. There's a lot of farms around here and they sell directly on the corners. Now when you buy food in the stores, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll pick it early and they'll let it ripen on the store shelves or in storage. And so a lot of times the food just doesn't taste all that great because it was pulled out earlier. And so for us, we always like to get fresh food around here from the local markets and the farmer markets. And we'll usually buy a lot. And then now we're beginning to freeze dry it so that it keeps the quality. It still tastes great. And we've got healthy food with no preservatives. If you're interested in checking out this particular freeze dryer that I again showed in the video that I talked about the food, it is called Harvest Right. I'll put a link to the website where you can pick one up in the description section below. And I'm actually going to start carrying them on the cityprepping.com website here. I'm going to be adding them on soon, and I'll talk to the dealer to see if I can add any coupon codes specific to my website if you are interested in checking out and picking up one. If you have any questions, any thoughts, feel free to post those in the comments section below. And as always, stay safe out there.